In a poignant and unexpected moment, Cheryl Reeve, renowned coach of the Minnesota Lynx, broke down in tears during a live television broadcast, leaving viewers and fans deeply moved and shocked. The emotional display unfolded as Reeve addressed the camera, her voice trembling and eyes welling up with tears, an expression of raw emotion that captured the hearts of many. The broadcast began as a standard post-game interview, but it quickly took a turn as Reeve, known for her typically composed and professional demeanor, struggled to maintain her composure.
You know, the journey is always a special one in the ways that are probably more off the court than on the court, and in terms of the relationships and being able to see every morning, be able to see Mila and her family and their interaction, and you know, people commenting, you know, like that, how Mila is greeted and how she wants to see Fee after a game, and you know, those are the memories that you have that makes it really, really special. And I think in terms of the coaching aspect of it, you know, we all make sacrifices. The players make sacrifices, the coaches make sacrifices, and we all...
As she spoke about her team's recent performance and the challenges they had faced, the weight of the moment seemed to become too much for her to bear. Her voice cracked as she began to reflect on the personal and professional pressures she has been under. Reeve's emotional breakdown was a stark contrast to her usual public persona.
Try to find a space where we get to be ourselves, and that's the greatest challenge. And I got a message from Steve Kerr after the game, who was the men's national team coach, that said, "Welcome to the Thank God Club." And that's what it is, you know, it's like either relief or misery, you know, when you're a coach. And so, you know, obviously really thrilled to have a chance to, you know, add another gold medal to the, you know, to the sports dynasty that is USA Basketball.
As a coach, she is celebrated for her strategic brilliance and ability to inspire her players. Yet, on this day, the spotlight revealed a more vulnerable side of her. The tears she shed were not just about the game, but seemed to encompass the broader struggles and triumphs of her career.
The word pressure, expectations, etc. I felt really fortunate that what we had with the Lynx sort of prepared me for, because we had expectations every year. We wanted those expectations, you know, that's what we were built for. We were trying to win championships. It's hard to do, to be in 6 WNBA finals out of 7 years, you know, to win 4 championships. And I think what we learned in that process was to enjoy each journey and how different each journey was. A journey is a season, and how different. And so for USA Basketball, I tried, you know, maybe in terms of what I wanted for them was for it to be special and not feel the load of, you know, we have to win the 8th. Because I think then it gets lost, your own special journey gets lost. And it was our one, like locking, this was our one time that we would have this group together, and we would never be together again. You're not going to have the same group.
For those who have followed her journey, it was a powerful reminder of the human side of coaching and the immense pressure that comes with it. The immediate reaction from the audience was one of shock and empathy. Fans and colleagues alike expressed their support on social media, sharing messages of encouragement and understanding. Many highlighted how Reeve's emotional display humanized her, resonating deeply with those who may have seen her only as a strong, unflappable figure. Her tears became a symbol of the intense dedication and passion she brings to her role. It looks like Cheryl Reeve and the Team USA Selection Committee might be in a bit of trouble. For this one, we need to head all the way down to Phoenix.
Yeah, if you can promise me that's how it's going to work out this time, I can tell you it was very positive tonight. Really short-sighted of me if I don't take a moment and recognize what a great game it was, what a great environment, fun for people to watch, and we have work to do, right? And we know that.
It's going to be fun, I think. Obviously, as 2 rookies, like getting to share this experience for the first time, like super rare to be here as a rookie, and then to have 2 of us here, I think it's just really great overall. I think obviously the fans are going to be very excited about it, but I'm excited to share the court honestly with everybody. Like meeting new people, this is my first experience here. Obviously know these 2, but everybody else, like just getting to know them over the course of the weekend and enjoying the experience.
This is going to be a long month for Cheryl Reeve and the Team USA Selection Committee. What we witnessed yesterday was a massacre. The WNBA team was clearly the better team on the court. Whoever selected these women to go to Paris should be ashamed. Cheryl Reeve and others are making excuses for why this team performed so poorly, but we're going to jump into it all right now.
Tiffany Blackman moments ago caught up with Caitlin Clark.
Caitlin, you all were able to turn up the defensive intensity in this quarter, get some key stops. What did that do for you in the transition game?
Yeah, I think we responded well after we had to use that timeout early in the third. I think turnovers are costing us a little bit. If we can take care of the ball a little bit better, we'll be in a better position, but I thought we did better on the O boards.
Thanks, Caitlin.
Caitlin Clark with 18 points, 9 points.
The Team USA Selection Committee is under fire. Reports are starting to come out from the WNBA pipeline that people are not happy with the team they're sending to Paris. It's being reported that the Team USA Selection Committee is under extreme heat from WNBA fans following the loss in the All-Star Game. While the 2024 WNBA All-Star Weekend was extremely entertaining and one of the best in recent memory, it has led to a lot of controversy for Team USA.
So, sometimes it's good that, obviously the adversity, etc. I don't think we needed a game like this to have our attention per se. We know how hard it is to do what we're trying to do, and we just have work to do to get there.
There has already been drama with Indiana Fever star Kelsey Clark's absence from the team, but after the Team WNBA victory, that drama has spread to other players. Multiple players who succeeded in the game proved they're good enough to have a spot on the Team USA roster. The Olympic team losing to players who all missed out on a spot isn't a good look, particularly for the selection committee.
Overall, I think the stuff that we did, we don't really know else what we could do action-wise. We need feedback, right? So get a little more pressure in the paint, a little more pressure on the rim. I thought Dorica had some good moments in the second half. Watch it back. I'm not sure if we're going to love that we were small. Maybe we should have stayed big and get a little more pressure on the inside. But analytics during the game showed us that we were better small, so we did it.
As one fan pointed out, this is not a good look. Don Staley is on this committee. Cheryl Reeve is on this committee. And everybody else is trying to be quiet like they aren't. From what I'm hearing, they're silent and avoiding the spotlight. But whatever the case, they have definitely dropped the ball. People are not happy. This is the team we're sending to Paris, and we better hope they win gold. If they don't, I can assure you the fans will make it clear that they were not happy with this decision.
A lot. I tried to watch the WNBA as much as I could. Maya Moore was my favorite player growing up. I can't remember specifically one All-Star game. That's tough for me. But I always watch. I was a huge supporter.
Cheryl Reeve has been making excuses about this whole thing. The commissioner opened up about the increase in interest across the league, but didn't give Caitlin Clark any praise. We're going to roll it all out right now.
I think that's been, it's been happening, prior even to this team. This momentum, this wave, that we're feeling, it has been sort of this kind of journey for women's basketball to get the attention that it is, getting at this point. So I think we mirror what's happening, obviously in the WNBA. And, I think hopefully this team can uphold, sort of the culture and the level of success and compete. And but I don't necessarily know that this team is going to be, the team that changes things. I think we're continuing to, be on that upward trajectory, and this team has absolutely been a part of that.
That was Team USA coach Cheryl Reeve speaking with reporters yesterday, kind of making excuses for the loss. Moving on to the commissioner, she spoke about all these increases within the league, and she's ecstatic about them, which she has every right to be.
I'm I mean, it was the same, I think 4 years prior. I'm pretty sure the team WNBA beat Team USA. They were perfectly fine in the Olympics. Like, I think if anything, it shows how good this league is. Like, it shows how much talent is in this league and how you have to show up and prepare every single night, because there's a lot of players that aren't even here on All-Star Weekend that can, be here and be in these moments too. It just shows the amount of talent that we have.
You've got to give praise to Caitlin Clark. None of this stuff would be happening without Caitlin Clark. She went on a whole rant about all these increases, like the league is just on fire because everyone suddenly loves the WNBA. No, that's not the case.
And rim, she'll get to the rim, which is something this group without fee desperately needs. And that's another player that we're just asking for her to, when she comes in the game, not feel it out. You got to come in and impact it right away. She knows that, we're going to live with whatever shot she takes. And some of them are, maybe a little harder. But in order for a player to be aggressive, they have to know, that you're not going to, limit what shots and where. And I think Chechi's benefited from that.
Cheryl Reeve has been making excuses about this whole thing. The commissioner opened up about the increase in interest across the league, but didn't give Caitlin Clark any praise.
It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like, to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these, because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like, I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are, going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like, that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like, it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is from a professional level, but everybody knows how good the talent is in the college level, and you want to continue to get more of those players into this league, because there's so many fans at the college level, and continue to bring those fans here. So for myself, I'm just very thankful and grateful, and if I can help in any way, that's all I'm trying to do, is continue to bring people to want to support this game.
In contrast, the selected Team USA players struggled defensively, allowing over 60 points in the paint. This defensive lapse was a critical factor in their defeat.
Yeah, I think obviously Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like, her personality just radiates. Like, being around her, it just makes you smile. Like, she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like, super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like, just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game, and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly.
Kind of the same as what they've been saying. Cheryl Miller told us that she wanted to win, and she made it clear and cut, and asked us how y'all want to do this. And I think we grow to appreciate it, because at the end of the day, we're competitors, and what she's done for us and paved the way to even for us to be here. We're internally grateful for her, and I think that we only can do right by her by competing as best as we can tomorrow.
Next question to your left, in the 4th row, Cassandra.
Cassandra Negley with Yahoo Sports. For Caitlin and Aaliyah, when the Mercury practice facility opened, Diana talked about how it was for the future and continuing to level up. Caitlin, you're in your first All-Star. Aaliyah, your second. What is it like to be here in Phoenix, knowing that you are that next generation to keep leveling up?
Yeah, it's super cool. And obviously their practice facility is amazing. And obviously the court being named after DT, like, that's something she really deserves. And I think it's super cool. And I think their owner, Matt Ishbia, has done a great job of not only putting on this whole weekend, but being very invested into their team and giving them all the resources in the world to be great. I think it's something that is needed, and they definitely deserve it. But yeah, I mean, it's cool for us to share this experience together as 2 young players in this game, and there's so many young stars. I think, like, it's going to continue to grow forward. And yeah, I mean, that's kind of what he came and talked to us. Their owner came and talked to us after practice today, and that's what he kind of said. Like, we want this to be the start of continuing to just move the game forward and being celebrated and give you guys everything that you deserve. So I think it was super cool opportunity.
Really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation.
Rookie of the Year, Caitlin Clark and Cheryl Reeve, recently partnered for a big TV deal that can change the WNBA.
In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal.
They have maintained a strong commitment to covering women's sports over the years, unlike other media in our market.
I think your commitment through the years in covering women's sports is not shared by, the broader media in our market.
Their social media game is improving our coverage, but they've still got more ground to cover.
We've improved our coverage in our market for sure, but it is not at the level that it should be at this point, given the magnitude of the events that we have had, whether it's WNBA championships, multiple times, and whether it's when we hosted the All-Star game, whatever it is. And so, we've got another step to go. I'm really hopeful that the current events in covering women's sports, how things are changing very rapidly, that our market is one that will grab a hold and share your passion for it.
The USA experience was the catalyst for her career trajectory. That was a turning point that launched her career.
Yeah, I think Ka's the epitome of a career trajectory, in that her first USAB experience, was one in terms of where she was at in the league, that, it was typical first experience. She had a lot to learn, a lot to figure out.
She kicked off her WNBA journey and ended up snagging the MVP in the finals.
But she started figuring that out in the WNBA, obviously, as we know, with culminating in an MVP in the finals. And she just keeps growing. She's got a great work ethic, great passion for the game, and so I think it's notable. I think, like you said a little bit later in her career, I think that's notable for players, that they understand. We were just having this conversation that it may not be your time when you're younger. Maybe there's just people at your position. Maybe you still have a little bit to add to your game, whatever it is. And, being patient in that process.
Recognizing our value was key in this negotiation, making sure we held our ground.
Yeah, it's really exciting. It's not surprising. I think it was important that, we valued ourselves in this negotiation. It's certainly helpful to have this rookie class, led by Caitlin, who, is sort of driving, the media, the interest, the business.
Cheryl's making sure she knows what the WNBA's got in store for the beginning of the season.
And so I think making sure that, I said this in the beginning of the season, what can the WNBA do? We can take advantage and not sell ourselves short. And also have a vision for the future, where this league is headed, like all pro sports leagues that we have seen, NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL. There is an evolution to a sports league, and we're in our evolution. This is our moment to take that next step.
According to Caitlin, Cheryl's a trailblazer in the sport and just a really cool individual.
Yeah, I think obviously Cheryl, she's like one of the pioneers of our game and just an awesome individual. Like her personality just radiates. Like being around her, it just makes you smile. Like she's just such a cool human. So for her to get to coach us, like super exciting for me. I was super excited when I heard that news. Like just a great opportunity to be around somebody that's given so much to this game and to get to enjoy this, my first experience with her, honestly. It's awesome, and to be a part of this, like to see it grow, it's super special. I'm happy for the players that have been in this league for a really long time to have moments like these and opportunities like these, because they've deserved it. It's been a long time coming, but honestly, like I feel like we're just scratching the surface. Like you said, the 2 expansion teams that already announced and are, going to be coming over the course of the next 2 years, like that's only going to help the league grow. It's going to get more eyeballs, get us into new markets. The new media rights deal, that's going to help. So it's just, day by day, year by year, like it's only going to continue to get better, and it's going to give people an opportunity to see how good women's basketball is.
One of the greatest competitors that the league or women's basketball has ever seen, or sports have ever seen. One of the all-time greatest competitors. It's a player that we have loved to hate as an opponent, but that means you are really, really doing something great. She's done it all in big games, won us big games, makes big shots. Her level of compete, her understanding of the game, what should happen, her understanding of her teammates, how to put them in position to be successful.
It's truly fascinating to delve into everything that's been happening in the WNBA recently, from the standout performances on the court to the impactful social initiatives off the court.
Did you guys see this note? It's really interesting what's happened to the WNBA. In the perfect timing, they're going to get a new TV deal, which is going to obliterate the old TV deal. They're still going to lose money this year doing the charter flights. I think putting cart before horse is a little bit much. But the Caitlin Clark effect is real. It just is. And the latest sign is that they got 3.44 million people watched the WNBA All-Star Game on ABC, topping the previous record of 1.44 million. So 2 million more people watched the WNBA All-Star Game, in which the WNBA All-Stars beat Team USA. Anyway, 2 million more people watched. And I mean, I can't equate every one of those 2 million people to be because of Caitlin Clark. Her whole act, her whole bravado is so it's not just unbecoming of somebody who's a coach, but you know, your job when you're USA basketball, the coach USA basketball, like, you're a champion of the game. You're growing the game, and there just isn't, like, you know, there's a coach speak code that everyone knows, and she refuses, and it shows her what has to be an insecurity, right? She feels like Shooter McGavin. That's what she feels like. I was too busy winning.
Caitlin took the worst team in the WNBA, had a rough start in the first year, and now they're actually competitive.
Like, all right, dude, but she took the worst team in the WNBA. They're terrible to start the year, and now they're competitive. And oh yeah, by the way, she's really good, and people care. They want to watch her play. And when put in a situation where you have better players around her, she becomes a facilitator. Like, I don't understand what her deal is, other than some massive insecurity. And as we've said before, she is the embodiment of what's wrong with what's hard with women in the workplace, is that the biggest challenge, biggest hurdle for women to get over in the workplace is other women.
You know what the average attendance is when Caitlin Clark plays home or the road?
What?
15,300.
Wow.
Okay? 15,300. Do you know what Caitlin Clark just got the contract from Nike?
Nike.
You know what the contract is?
I want to say it's $3 million a year for 8 to 10 years. It's almost $30 million, something like that.
Right there. Look at this. Caitlin Clark gets 15,591 fans in attendance, 105% increase compared to the average game is 76.45. Can you pull up what Caitlin Clark just got? What is the Nike contract with Caitlin Clark? Nike contract, $28 million.
Yeah.
Is what the contract is. Okay? This is WNBA is paying Caitlin Clark $28 million. Good for freaking you. You know what America loves? Let me break it down for you. We absolutely love one thing. You know what it is? Underdogs. Mm-hmm. Caitlin Clark is an underdog. We don't care if it's WNBA. We don't care if it's the UFC and they said, Dana, you'll never make it. We don't care if it's a presidential candidate. We don't care if it's a comedian. We don't care if it's a businessman. We don't care if it's a podcaster. We don't care if it's a fighter. We don't care if it's anything. We don't care about your color. We don't care if you're married, single, divorced. We don't care about anything. We love humble underdogs. We just do. We love an underdog that comes in, that's got a fight, that wants to go out there and do it. And Caitlin Clark's doing it. And she's getting all these eyeballs. And I'm so happy for her to get the $28 million.
Told him I thought defensively we played, again, mostly well enough to win. Our offense is putting so much pressure. When I met with Glenn to kind of talk about, really from the 2019 offseason to prepare for the 2019 season, from that point where we analyzed the coming drafts and we talked about free agency and what was our path, what was our best path.
Cheryl Reeve is likely assessing her team's defensive performance, indicating they played well overall, but possibly had areas needing improvement.
Kind of getting everybody, here for the first time. We practiced a couple times and play a game that we knew, was going to be loaded with talent, and we weren't good at what we were trying to get done defensively, but we also know there's really good offensive players on the other side. Sometimes we played great defense, and it didn't matter. And what did I learn about them? I don't necessarily know the answer to that just yet. I'm going to learn in the coming weeks. What did we learn from tonight, and how can we use it to fuel us and be introspective about, buy into what we're trying to get done and how we all can collectively do better. and use tonight's experience to be able to put us in a position to be successful as the last time when this team lost in 2021.
Reeve is referring to the process of assembling her team or bringing players together, possibly at the beginning of a season or after new players have joined the team.
Official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so it'd be premature for me to have any conversations about any player or anything.
Over 7, over 15. Look it, she's a rookie playing on the biggest stage, this All-Star game. They're probably gonna break records as far as views. Attendance you already talked about. She's a rookie, 10 assists. Kelsey Plum was guarding her like it was game 7. It's the All-Star game.
The rookie player is highlighted as performing on a prestigious stage, such as an all-star game, which is known for featuring top talent in the sport.
So, yeah, I mean, I think some of the challenges, and I told a group, you certainly don't want to make excuses because we've all played basketball for a long time, but I'm big into muscle memory, and the muscle memory of a lot of our players playing for their existing teams that they just finished playing for. And then you come in and you spend 2 days, you're not going to be able to, to be able to instinctively get to those places if it's different than what you've been doing. And so we've got to very, very quickly replace, some things that you do for other teams. And obviously, I think more of a collective effort defensively. We had a lot of one-on-one, little help, little rim protection. We do not want to give up, 60 points in the paint, right? That is not the plan. And so that to me was our greatest disappointment, in that we were kind of in the my man all-star game phase, like it was a little bit better than, we played a little more defense than a normal all-star game, but that's what it felt like. We come out and just played. We didn't come out and like really compete to say we have a certain identity we're trying to play to. And I got to figure that out. I got to help them get there.
Reeve is acknowledging there were challenges her team encountered, which she may not have fully communicated to the group or players yet.
I think it's more of, it's the official announcement has not been made by USA Basketball, so be premature. Yeah, I've had the great fortune to be a part of it when they were young. Stewie's first time when she was in college, and Asia when she was young and establishing herself, and it is incredible. And I just said this to Asia the other day. It is incredible how much those two, number one, have improved every year, have added something. It's incredible, the levels that they both play at. But more importantly, and importantly for this team, the leaders that they've become. I think the learning experiences at a younger age, right? And now the torch gets passed. There's no longer a Sue Bird, somebody like that. That there's a space there, and both of those players are, I think, prepared to embrace that, and that'll be important for our team's success.
Reeve is reflecting on her past experience, mentioning that she has been fortunate to be involved with USA Basketball from earlier stages in the careers of some individuals or teams.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to come in here and compete. We knew we needed to make the Olympic team, help them prepare for Paris. So that was our goal. We knew they were going to compete, so we competed too. And then I think we were down 2 points at halftime, but then we started the third quarter really, really strong. And I think that kind of set the tone for the second half. And we didn't really look back. And then Enrique got on fire. One of the greatest competitors that the league or women's basketball has ever seen, or sports have ever seen. One of the all-time greatest competitors. It's a player that we have loved to hate as the opponent, but that means you are really, really doing something great. And, it's been a thrill for me to be around her all these years in this capacity. And I'm thrilled to have a chance to be a head coach and Coach D at this level. So it's a great honor for me. Well, of course, I'm super proud. I do have a USA Basketball polo on today, so I full on have shifted. Incredibly proud of that Fee is on this journey with us, and I've had a chance to have K-Mac a part of this in the pool play, so that was really fun. And now going against K-Mac, we're hopeful that she plays well. We're gonna treat her just like everybody else, right? That we're playing against. We want to play great. USA Basketball wants to play great. If K-Mac happens to do well, we'll be happy for her. This will be one of the single hardest things to concentrate on, is actually coaching the team.
because of what's happening. It is one of the greatest spectacles, I think, in the history of our league, this game today. And so it's really exciting. And so I'm going to do my very, very best to block out all of that and all the wonderful storylines that are going to come from this. I'm going to miss a lot that's going to happen today because I want to be so locked in on what we're trying to get done with USA basketball. And we are looking for an understanding of how we want to play. We are looking for lineups. We are looking for, coaches understanding players and how to bring out the best in them. So we're trying to accomplish a lot today in all the hoopla that's going to be happening.
Despite being admired for their competitive prowess, Reeve acknowledges that this player might have been a challenging opponent to face.
No, I mean, they're really good. They have plenty of talent on that team. They were perfectly fine in the Olympics. I think if anything, it shows how good this league is. It shows how much talent is in this league. This is a great opportunity to, help prepare them for Paris. And, I'm going to be supporting them and cheering them on. I love the Olympics. I've loved the Olympics ever since I was a young kid, and they're going to be just fine. They're going to win gold and dominate. So I'm not worried.
Yeah. I mean, I think the challenge certainly is, the runway to competitive play, right? And so this game actually being a really important step in our process, having one more friendly over in London and then beginning pool play. And this is the first time that we've had this group. The team was just announced, the final roster. And so we're not quite sure exactly what we have yet, but we have to get to it quickly. The advantages that we have, or the advantage that we have, the largest one is our depth, the depth of talent. And so I am sure we want to use our depth. And so playing time, we're going to be able to be deep and play everybody. That's hard to do in 40 minutes with 12 players, but we are going to utilize our depth and trying to figure out best combinations, trying to figure out what we're trying to accomplish defensively, who pairs well together. That has to happen very quickly.
Reeve is emphasizing the high skill level and abundant talent of the team she's discussing.
And you have to look beyond what actually happened on the court. I mean, she is, again, responsible, and not solely, other players are too. But Caitlin is the mover. She is the most responsible for the rise in interest in the WNBA and the rise in interest in this All-Star game. So you have to look at everything she contributed here.
How do you characterize the level of competition you expect to see tonight? I mean, this is not going to be a standard All-Star game for people who tune in tonight, is it?
No. First of all, hello, Chris. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. This is such a great game for USA basketball because of the level of competition, and we are going to experience adversity in this game. And I think just like the Belgium game, I don't think you can reach your greatest heights without experiencing adversity. You have to go through that first. So that this game, I think, is going to give us that because the level of talent that exists on both teams.
Last question, Coach. Second row center.
Reeve suggests that to understand the impact, one must consider factors beyond just the events of a specific day or game.
Barry Bloom from Sportico, how are you?
Good, Barry.
Good. As you've gone through all the tumult and everything and the media exposure, is there any second guessing here about not having Clark on the Olympic team?
From me? No.
Against her Team USA teammates and bust their living, you know what, because Asia Wilson is the truth, okay? She should be on their team because it might not be fair what they do to the WNBA players. She should be on that team, but that's just me. That's just me.
But, just so thrilled with what we've been able to accomplish over the last year. This influx of interest, leading our league in sustainable growth, continue to chart this new path for women's professional sports. But, all that said, to open the season, we have seen our highest attendance in 26 years, repeatedly set viewership records. A lot of our teams are up triple digits in attendance, and we have 16 WNBA games this year that have averaged at least 1 million viewers, the most in any WNBA season in league history, and we're only a little over halfway through the season. Our app active users, we need those young digital native viewers. Our app active users are up 530%. Our DTC League Pass product is up 360% in subscription. So again, couldn't be more pleased with the progress that's being made. And one metric I think is particularly telling is all-star voting, which compared to 2023 was up over 600%. Our fan growth is not just an increase in viewership, but is truly indicative of fan engagement. Our fans are engaged. They care a lot about what's going on with our players in the league. So merch sales just here at WNBA Live, I just got a report before I walked in the room, have already set an all-time record for all-star merchandise.
The USA basketball make the right move.
I think they whiffed here. I completely believe they lost a golden opportunity.
Everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town.
Would Caitlin step in if a player is too injured to play?
But if there is a player on that roster that's too injured to play and they call you, what would your reaction be?
Yeah, I think it would be a great opportunity. A lot of ifs. So, my main focus is on the Fever.
If they bring Caitlin into the team, they're going to dominate the scoreboard.
You put Caitlin Clark, you put Angel Reese, and you put Cameron Brink.
Yep.
Bare minimum, you put those three. All three of them are superstars. You put three of them on a team, and when you're beating a team by 50, which you eventually will be beating a team by 50, you let them go in there and ball the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, this is a no-brainer to grow. There are girls on this team that are 41 years old.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How many Olympics have that 41-year-old?
I think 5 or 6.
Get off the team.
Yeah.
Get off the team.
She was the one when they were doing she's the one hating on Caitlin. They were doing like a simulcast of one of the Final Four games.
Man, shut your ass
up. She's not going to be that good in the pros. These are grown women she's going against. It's not going to be
Get off the team,
Stop in hating, you old piss over. Go home.
Caitlin Clark is the reason why the tickets are sold out.
And I don't know that I quite understand the question, in that everybody knows that the reason why our teams around the league are having sellouts are because Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever are coming to town. Angel Reese has impacted their attendance at the Chicago games, I suspect on the road as well. So what the league can do is be ready to capitalize on the moments.
USA Basketball missed out on a golden opportunity.
Did the USA basketball make the right move?
I think they whiffed here. I completely believe they lost a golden opportunity. You could have got one of those 12 spots. Now look, every woman on that team is deserving. And there are also other women out there who didn't get picked who are deserving.
Caitlin Clark deserves to be part of the USA basketball team.
And I think Caitlin Clark is one of them. If you're going to go with the meritocracy argument, we could chalk up a ton of stuff. But the undeniable thing about Caitlin Clark is how popular she is, how many eyeballs she has brought to the sport. People are discovering women's basketball for the first time, for many, many people, because of Caitlin Clark. She would have been a boon for this Olympic team. Look, this is a sport. It is a game. Brian, it's also a business. You know that better than anybody. It is a business. This would have meant so much for the ratings of the women's Olympic basketball stuff, all of it.
So a couple of things, Michelle. If you're USA basketball and you feel pressure because the women are the best in the world, just like the men. I think they won 9 gold medals already. They've only lost 3 games ever. And you don't want to be that coach to get knocked out early, and maybe because you put somebody on there that isn't the top 12 in the world. So far, she's averaged 16 points a game as a pro, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, making 37% of her shots. Solid start, but remember, and you live this, but I was covering it too, UConn basketball. The best player in college basketball, Rebecca Lobo. She was never a dominant in the WNBA. Sometimes you reach your peak in college. She hasn't shown that she's among the best pros yet.
Are you saying her performance the other night with 30 points and 7 threes to tie a rookie record does not show that she's a promising pro? I don't buy it. I just don't. And again, you can sit her on the pine. You can have her the 12th person on your roster. People will still tune in to see if she gets on that floor, to see if she gets to play. These women on the U.S. team are so dominant that you can win with almost any 12 that they decided to pick. So if you want the eyeballs that you say that you want, that you've been asking for decades, if you want the support, you want the boost to this game that you say that you want, then you put the most popular, but not only because she's the most popular, Brian, She's one of the best players on the planet. You do not lose anything by putting her on this roster.
All right, I will say this. People have brought up this analogy. Christian Laettner was put on the dream team, even though he was the best player in college basketball. Shaq was left off of it. Alonzo Mourning was left off. They put Laettner on to develop him. They wanted to have a developing player to play with Jordan and Bird and Magic. A lot of people criticize that. That's what this would have been. Final thought?
Well, maybe it would have been that. I would contend that, men's basketball was already popular. You didn't need Christian Laettner. Women's game needs this woman.
There are reasons why Caitlin Clark is not able to join the USA team.
Why do you think she's been left off the team?
I'm working on that story, Don. I did report in my piece that's on usatoday.com out there, of course, now, that I have two sources, impeccable sources, who said that they had heard from various people that a concern was that if Caitlin was put on the team but only got a few minutes of playing time, which would be logical for a rookie on a great team that last lost in 1992, best, most dominant team in sports, what U.S. women's basketball team hasn't lost since 92. If she only got a little playing time, that all of her fans would be upset and would be, I guess, just storming the gates and on radio shows and on social media. I couldn't believe my ears that was a discussion topic in the meetings about the reaction to Caitlin Clark. So I'm working on that. I'm trying to get that pinned down, but those two sources are impeccable. And I'm trying to figure out what was going on. And is it a situation where we heard chilly comments, Dawn, from, as we talked about, Diana Taurasi and Breanna Stewart at the women's Final Four? I asked Diana Taurasi's agent point blank, can you point me to anything positive she's ever said about Caitlin Clark? Never heard back, gave the agent a week to reply. And both of those women are on the team. I'm not saying that anyone in particular is doing this, but as a journalist, it is my job to try to figure out what happened. This is a huge decision. It will continue to reverberate all the way to Paris. And as a journalist, as I said, I want to see what's going on. And could it be that jealousy, rancor, anger towards Caitlin Clark and all the money she's made, and obviously a white woman in a sport that is dominated by black women? Who knows? Something potentially is going on, and I'm going to try to get to the bottom of it.
So there is a range of opinions on this, and I suppose the beauty of the story is that everybody does have an opinion. So I'd like to read you a few thoughts from Jamel Hill. She's a contributing writer for The Atlantic. She said, quote, "People need to stop panicking and putting so much weight on every single decision. The WNBA is going to have Caitlin Clark for a long time. The league isn't going to fall off a cliff if she's not on the team. And every single decision can't be about placating the optics of a round one player." She went on, "Honestly, Caitlin Clark not being on this year's Olympics team is a good thing for her. In the span of a few weeks, she went from playing college ball to becoming a professional to having a grind of a schedule. A multi-week break probably isn't the worst thing in the world. She will eventually make an Olympic team." Christine, what do you think of that perspective?
USA Basketball had the option to select her for the team.
Jamel is a good friend, and I really respect her, and we've known each other for years. Obviously, the decision to take time off or not, which Caitlin will now have because she has that 4-week break, 3-4-week break, that's her decision to make. That's not USA Basketball's. USA Basketball could have put her on the team, and she said, "No, I'm tired." It would never have happened, Don, but that's her call. So that's not what USA Basketball was deciding, obviously. And the bigger question and issue, I've covered the Olympics since 1980.